Welcome to our YouTube channel today. Sometimes I ask myself why I keep doing these YouTube channels. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just wasting my time as I look on my feed on YouTube and I see so many different subjects, so many different titles. Some of them have these fancy covers on them that are designed by professionals, and I wonder. And then I begin to look at some of the subject matter. A lot of it is just there to get clicks, to get enough people to subscribe, to make money. A lot of them are inaccurate. Some of them are full of lies. And some of them are done by people who are just disgusting, doing anything they can to make money and be successful. You see, the problem is this, and this is a hard lesson that all of the decent people in this country need to learn. If you leave the field, if you are in some type of group or some institution, and those who I call the people of the lie start rushing in and you get disgusted and leave, what happens is that the scum ends up taking away the power of the group and the institution and filling that up, spreading their poison and lies all over the place while you have to rush around as if you're in the wilderness trying to find another place. And so I stay here because I know that in the vacuum, if I leave, the scum will come in talking about false spirituality, false politics, giving us stupid ideas about religion, never looking deep within, but always spouting off things about the surface and pushing forward ideas about the surface, and never really looking for and looking at the truth. An example of this tonight is a video I saw of a black person, if the black person really made it, criticizing this group called the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is these groups of African Americans who interview various black popular figures. First time I ever saw them was maybe a week or two ago when they were interviewing um what's his name? Cornel West. Yes, they were interviewing Cornel West about his run for president on the third party. Soon after that interview, and many people watched it, liked it, and commented, all of a sudden you have all these people coming on and criticizing the Breakfast Club. In this one, they use one of their episodes and they have an Uncle Tom Negro on there defending Trump and telling these black people how extreme they are. First of all, not to take anything from Trump, but you have to be a very irregular black person to be standing up in public defending Donald Trump when he has done nothing whatsoever about the black community, and when he has made statements in public about black people being lazy and having to be forced to work. You either have to be mentally deficient or you have to be trying to tap into the MAGA expense account and get the large percentage of people who support Trump to support you and give to your cause so that you can do public relations for Donald Trump as a black person to thwart the rest of the black people. I think those are the only two choices. And I think that most of the MAGA people, deep in their hearts, know that they cannot trust any black person who is supporting Trump because most of them know in their hearts that if they were black, they would not be supporting Trump. But, you see, these people are all over the internet now, All you have to do is look at the front page when you're looking at YouTube, and you can see all kinds of twisting and warping of the truth. You'll see two contradictory stories, one right behind the other. You don't know which is true. How can we tell which is true, though? There is a way, you know. The way is very simple. The scientists tell us that you have to experiment and listen to what they say. The religious people say you have to do the same thing. The philosophers say you have to argue and debate about it. But the way that you can tell if something is correct or not is if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's a 99.999% that it's not correct. If I tell you that a ship full of lead, a battleship with no wings or no rockets or no propellers, is flying through the air right now, I don't think you have to look out the window to doubt that I'm telling the truth. Why? Because it doesn't make sense. First of all, who would want to fly in a battleship through the air? And second of all, it doesn't align itself with reality or the laws of physics. And a lot of the ideas and a lot of the excuses and a lot of the things people say about the world today are nonsense. They don't align themselves with reality. And when things like that happens, an alarm bell should go off quickly. And you can see in an instant that they're foolish. Now, a lot of times when this happens, you see we cover over that alarm bell. We've listened to the people who are steeped in science too long. They said that you can't trust your own perceptions. So we lean on them, and we lean on the news commentators and the experts to tell us what's right and wrong, instead of claiming our power to be able to see the truth and understand the truth. And as we give up this power, we find that we are being trapped more and more in a world of delusion. Trapped, taking the little blue pill in the matrix until we're being led by the nose, like a bull with a ring in his nose. You have all of that power and all of that fury that can tear up anything, being led by a small woman, man, or child, just by hooking something to the ring on his nose. And do you know why that works? Because the nose is a very sensitive part of the bull. And the part that the ring goes through pulls on that sensitive part of the bull. This society has created sensitive spots within all of us. It's told us we're not good enough. We don't look good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not brave enough. We're not the right sex, color, or social orientation, sexual orientation, anything. And they beat that into us over and over and over again until they develop a very sore spot. And by hooking into that spot or poking it, they get us to move in the direction that they would like. And we, in the masses, move in the directions. And most of the time, the direction is that which is against our own self-interest. We do that because it's easier than taking the pain and possibly even losing some of our flesh as we tear away, making the wound larger. And that is the life of the human being, the one who was meant to fly, the one who has the creative energy of the divine inside, the one who can imagine things and think them over and make them a reality. And if they can't do it alone, they can get together with a group of people, and as a group of people they can do it. They can create a beautiful society of justice, of love, where there's no poverty, but it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible because corrupt leaders know what wounds to prick or pull to get all of these people fighting against each other so that there's no progress. There is a story in the Bible about the Tower of Babylon. It says all the people got together and they wanted to create this tower that could reach up to the heavens. And it says that the gods, and it doesn't say that God or Yahweh, it says the gods, that is translated from the word the powerful ones, the Elohim, saw that these human beings were able to do this, and they said, if we don't stop them from working together like that and creating that tower, they'll be able to do anything. What are we going to do? So the powerful ones decided to separate them in little groups and to make their languages all different so they could speak with each other but couldn't understand each other. Just think about that for a moment and look at the way we live in the United States right now. We try to talk with each other using all of these labels, stereotypes, and all of that, and sometimes we even say the same words, but we can't hear the other one because we've been conditioned not to. And so it's time to move beyond that conditioning through a great deal of meditation and contemplation and through facing the truth. And that truth is that there are a small group of people who want to rule over everyone, and they'll do anything they can to do so. When we accept that truth, we begin to stand up for ourselves. Their credibility is gone then. We begin to work together in order to learn many different languages and understand many different languages so we can talk with each other. We learn the language of science. We learn the language of various religions: Judaism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, paganism, Buddhism, all the many religions, as we realize they are all talking about the same thing. They are all the same language. But the Elohim, the powerful ones in our lives most of the time, don't want us to accept that, you see. They're still separating us so we cannot reach the height of the heavens. So we cannot do what the Unitarian Transcendentalists talked about in the 1800s, great thinkers like Thoreau and like Emerson and Alcott. We can't do like they talked about. Transcend the common human condition and reach the heights, the breadth, and the depth of the greatness of a human being that is woke and whose barriers between the self and the larger self, the divine, have come down. That is our only hope for the future. We may not all reach it, no, but we can do it one at a time. And so we sit and we meditate, not in order to be a better worker, as some reports say is happening now. They are talking about mindfulness and psychedelics, showing that one can lead better at work. That's not what it's for. It's for making one be able to lead better and be better in life. It's about making oneself enjoy life. It's about stepping out of that old cycle of domination and working and being free. Free to choose for oneself. Free to see the universe as it is. Free to know Goddess, God, Creator, the Spirit, whatever you would call that which is, in an intimate way, as intimate as it being within one and one being within it. It is described in biblical terms like a mirror, or even like a marriage, where the two become one. That is our goal. When the creation merges with the Creator and we become one. Thanks for listening to me today. Thanks for following us. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the bell and follow us and hit the like sign and perhaps even leave some comments so we can speak on some of the subjects that you would like to speak on. You can find out a lot more about us at www.nextstepcoaching.mysite.com, where you can check out some of our books and find links to our podcast. Our objective, you see, is to help set everyone free, not to change political persuasions, but to help people allow to choose the direction they want instead of being pulled in that direction like a bull with a ring through his nose. Thank you for being with us. Namaste.